Good evening, good evening. Once again, it's your friend, it's your family, True Streets from True Streets. I could have been a pastor. I am the Hood Guru. How's everybody doing out there this evening? I hope everybody's still blessed. Everybody's fine. Everybody's getting ready to settle in for this good evening. It's a nice day today. Now it's time to uplift those energies, relax, peace. Let's get this thing started, shall we? Of course, you gotta get right. Once again, how's everybody doing? Thank you for tuning back in with me tonight as we start this new episode. Next episode is called Change. My little daughter called me. But anyway, change. How can we commit to change? What is change? Do a lot of us agree with change? Do you agree that change is to better yourself? Do you think that change could worsen yourself? Change has a big domain. So many people say they're making changes for the years. So many people come here and say they want to make changes to their body, to the way they act, to the way their persona is, and so when it comes down to change, let's just put me in perspective. Okay, when I started my journey, I was selling drugs, going to clubs, carrying guns, trying to get every damn girl I could find, and trying to make all the money. But then I also realized I can't live like this forever. So when you can't live, excuse me, and you make up the mind to make a change, you get in your head and you feel as though this is what you need to do. So you bottle down, you get your ducks in order, and you try to make yourself a plan. Then along on your way, you're gonna acquire people who don't care about you, who tells you why you need to change, what's wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. And the reason they tell you that because you fit to their circle. So as long as you lost out there mentally, there's nothing wrong with you, they say. As long as they can keep you at the manipulate state, you're perfect the way you are. But like a lot of others, myself, I always had that feeling that this ain't right. This is not who I'm meant to be. This is not my life. This is not what I chose for myself when I grew up. This is not what I wanted. I need more. I want more. I am more. It's got to be more to me than just being good at selling drugs, being good at the hood. Like we used to say back in the day, being the hood all-star. It's got to be more than that. There's got to be a time in my life where I can wake up and I ain't got to worry about when I go out my door, I got to have my tool in my hand. It's more to life than just waking up and repeating the same old process. The change of being as they so-called, a black parent, black male in society. There's got to be more to this than just every day doing the same. Just like I said, it's like a mouse being trapped on a wheel. You're just going around and around and around. No matter how slow you go, no matter how fast you go, besides moving your feet and catching your breath, you're doing the same thing. You have accomplished nothing. You know, here it is. You're 18 years old. All you had is you went through school. That's not accomplished nothing. That's just you finished school. You're 30 years old. You don't have your own house, your own car, your own business. Working for somebody for measly dollars, barely trying to survive. So after so many years, you get into your mind that, hey, I'm gonna make a change for a time. I'm gonna make a change. I'm gonna make a stand up. I'm gonna be different. This is gonna be the new me. This is my challenge to myself. So you get on your journey. And like I said just a few minutes ago, it's gonna be people to tell you that you don't need to do this, you don't need to do that. But it's the thing I always tell my sons. Jailhouse people say it all the time. Court people say it. Persons, places, and things. Your outcome in life consists of who you have in your circle of person, places, and things. So now that you're starting to make change, you start to realize that that's my problem. That's why I never excelled in life. Persons, places, and things. And like I said, once you realize that you get those in order, your life will change. Because as I seen, when I started to change the people I hang with, started to change the places that I went, started to change the things I held value in, then I started to change. My mentality started to change, the way I speak to people, my persona, my aura, my energy levels, everything started to change. And they're still evolving right now as I speak. And so, if you want to be a better you, you gotta learn how to change. You gotta learn how to escape your past situation by changing the people you hang around. For instance, if 24 hours a day you're in a thug mentality and you're in a thug state of being in a thug situation where you gotta do thug shit, you're gonna act like a thug. So thus, that's your persona, a hood cat. But once you start changing your person, places, and things that you hang with, and you're in a situation where you don't have to be a thug 24/7, you ain't got to carry your gun. You can put your shoes on slower. You can dress slower. You don't have to look over your shoulder when you walk out the door. Thus, your attitude starts to change. And that's how a lot of us become older. Because when we're young, we're in one situation, but if you take the chance to move, your past starts to leave you. And I'm pretty sure you done seen the movies and you done heard people who say this person, you done got soft. Technically you have. I know I have. I'm not the same person I used to be, and I'm thankful for it. But as you start to make your change, so a lot of us like to go back and dibble a little bit. Going back and dibble could get you killed. Going back and dabble can land you in jail. So once you start making that change and you start applying that effort to go in a better direction, you have to keep going. Because the more you go backwards, the harder it is to go back forward. And a lot of y'all know what I'm talking about. apply it to your everyday things. For instance, COVID broke out. A lot of people got used to being home after working. Now, they don't want to go to work. A lot of people work out for COVID. Then gained that COVID weight for being in the house all that time. Now you choose not to work out no more. Same as a diet. Same as if you smoke cigarettes, weed, or any other drug. You tend to smoke more if you stop and start smoking again. Thus, a lot of people doing the harder drugs have overdoses because their body isn't the same. Your body started healing itself, and then you threw it in the cardiac arrest because you gave it a shock of a full-blown dose of drugs. Whereas though, remember when you first started doing that drug, it took you years or months or days or even to get to the tolerance that you are at that particular moment when you stop. So when you start up, you have to start small. Just like everything, you got to crawl before you can walk. But not thinking to jump in there, pop one in the arm, too many up the nose, so many down the throat. Next thing you know, they're in the ambulance. Took too much. So once again, my name is True Streets. From True Streets, I could have been a pastor. I am the hood guru. These is my thoughts. These are my opinions. This is my life. The reason I share because I'm pretty sure there's a lot more people out there, like I always say, that feel the exact same way as I do, or similar. So as we get back on it, when you making these changes, you know what I'm saying, your mind has to be like a board. There's no bend, you know what I'm saying? When you smack that board, it's solid. Pow. It's like you hitting that heavy bag. Pow, pow. Pow, 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 pow. You're consistent. And the more you're consistent, the easier it gets. The better your flow gets. You can dip, you can sway, and all the extra stuff. But when you first get out there, remember, you like this. There's no fluency in it. And in that aspect, you build yourself up. You work at it. You work at the way you speak to people. You work on your mannerisms. You work on the way you dress. You work on the way you do your hair, your smile, your expressions. You work on everything that is you. Thus, that's how you become the best version of you. So then, you just keep at it. And before you know it, like they say, 21-day kick, it becomes a habit. Once it becomes a habit, you tend to not to want to do the stuff that you used to do because it don't even feel good. Like, since my back issues had happened to me, a lot of the foods that I was eating before I started working out 6 or 7 months ago, I don't even want to eat no more, even though that is the only alternative at the time. I don't want to do it. Even to when I watch TV now, I had a wide range. I watched a lot of movies and so forth. Now, I tend not to watch the movies. I tend not to watch news. I tend not to watch, or if I do wind up turning to something, it's never sitting the whole time. It's like by the time I get to sit down and notice what I'm watching, really, it just falls off my plate. You know what I'm saying? I don't choose. I just like, nah, I just don't feel like this. You know, or even down to like my maturity level, as far as the way I handle things. And I'm very nonchalant on the way I handle things, but it's like I'm a more oppressed person compared to this fly off the handle person that I used to be. And you know, and when I take and analyze things more or less now, to where though I just whatever came out my head at the moment, I went with the first, the first aspect, the first thing. So when you're working on change, you gotta dig deep inside yourself and commit to yourself that this is what I'm gonna do, and just like I said in a couple shows back, this is 2022, and I didn't used to say where I'm gonna see myself at in the future because it ain't guaranteed to you, but I look at it now as where do I want my brand to be in this time? Where do I want my podcast or my children to be at this time? More or less not saying for me because these things don't have to include you, to be fulfilled. You just got to have the right diagram for them to follow. You know what I'm saying? To get things, the ball rolling. And so that's why I say I don't make goals because I make plans, because goals are easily broken and a lot of people, like I said, digress because they didn't meet their final goal. But like I tell people, plans change. You alter plans. A lot of times you can alter plans for the better, like military. You go in there boxing, fighting and driving on the racetrack or building a house, you know what I'm saying? Things can change in the moment, in the instant. So, like you go to set things up, you think that the bedrock was one way, but then when you drill so far, the bedrock was thicker. You know what I'm saying? The distance wasn't where you thought it was. You have to alter the program. You know what I'm saying? You on that racetrack, you thought you was going to be taking the inside on a such and such person, but that person didn't ride that day. Now you got somebody else. Now you know how you got to work your drive, work your inside and your outside. You know what I'm saying? Keep on your positioning. Down to you go into the car, you know what I'm saying? They like, well, take everything that's messed up. But when you put it on the machine, it tells you up is losing, you know what I'm saying, is losing air or whatever in the tire. You go to check the tire and realize that it ain't just the tire, it's the rim itself. You know what I'm saying? It's the stem. So now you got to think of an alternative. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, when you making this change in your life, you got to prepare to alter your plans. You got to prepare to be able to work on the fly, and you got to be able to commit to it. You know what I'm saying? Because if it's the better you should be able to commit to it. And if you can't commit to yourself, you can't commit to anyone else. So when you're making these changes, like I said, you have to work on the whole you, not just people say, I'm just going to work on this part, make that look better. Okay, you may make that look better, but what about the other parts that are falling apart? You know what I'm saying? What about the other parts that are aging? So if you're just working on your stomach so you can have a flat stomach, what about your hips, your chest, your shoulders, you know what I'm saying, your legs, looking all scrawny and wrinkled in your face? You know what I'm saying? So when you work on yourself, work on a total package. Like I say, thus being the best you. So once again, it's your friend, it's your fam, True Streets from True Streets. I could have been a pastor. I am the hood guru. These are my thoughts, these are my opinions. I offer the open comments because I truly want to hear it. That's why I have open talks. Well, even though this is a podcast, a lot of times, as y'all see, I'm here by myself. And the reason I'm here by myself because, hey, you got a whole lot lot of crazy stuff going on. And then, like I said, I just like the surroundings. Like I was saying, the other one I looked on there and it said that I'm a black sheep. I knew that before I read it, but I like solitaire. You know what I'm saying? Not like the solitary as far as the game. I like as far as the lone time. You know what I'm saying? I say Lone Wolf McQuade, you know what I'm saying? The odd guy out. I like to be the guy out on the outside looking on the inside. You know, and then like I said, I'm still new to this. So I'm perfecting my craft. And the reason I say I'm perfecting my craft, because I want to, when I do things, I'm more of a perfectionist, and a lot of times the outcome is destined to come out a certain way. So I choose not to think of it because, like when I got into my music, I didn't get into it for the money. I got into it because I enjoy doing it. And since I was a kid, it's always been in my life, not just the radio. I'm talking about physically, people in my family singing and having studios and instruments, you know what I'm saying, musical instruments and stuff like that, band, choir, you know what I'm saying, preachers in the family, you know what I'm saying. So I tended to had access to a lot of stuff, but at different times in my life. It wasn't like I had the access to the instruments the whole time as I grew up, because if I did, I would have been a lot better. Because I liked the guitar, I liked the drums, I liked the keyboards, you know what I'm saying? And so I liked the pianos. And so stuff like that, if I would have, when I was with my aunt, we had all that, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't stay with my aunt on my dad's side, you know. Then you say, when my dad came around, that put me, you know, in that situation, or summer vacations and stuff like that, or, you know, right before we moved to Jersey when we was kids. Then you say, when I got older, I was in New Jersey, so it was the streets, you know what I'm saying? But then when I went to Job Corps, they started having, you know, talent shows and stuff. And then by the time I came back from Job Corps, my sisters and her friends had formed a rap group. And so I came home from Job Corps, how you say, a beast a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Then I went to South Carolina in that process. I was down there for like about a year and a half. And I was, how you say, they all flocked around my person, put it that way. I was from New Jersey, and I didn't act like them in Columbia. And then I had rap and beatbox skills. So by the time I got out of Job Corps, came back home from Job Corps, and got it with my sisters and them. Back then, they wouldn't let me get on no tracks. You know what I'm saying? And I think I got on like one, but they didn't let me get on the tracks with them because I didn't write, and I can't write. I got fair penmanship actually, but I didn't like writing my verses because my how you say my focus time on sitting down just writing concentration, nah. My concentration on one subject didn't last that long. So that killed writing right there. But I was fluent with what come off my head and being able to put it together. Or I can, go around the room and rap the room. Either looking at people and rapping about the people, what they have on, or our relationship, how we met, you know what I'm saying? Or even down to the colors or what's all the fixtures in the room. So when I was doing my music and coming up, like I said, they wouldn't let me really rap in the group. But when I moved to South Carolina, just like you see in the commercials back in the day, the guy walking down the street with his headphones, everybody thinking that he rapping a song that he listening to, but instead I'm freestyling. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing freestyling doing dance hall, and I'm freestyling, you know what I'm saying? Then the years go by, and where we are right now. So like I said, I've changed over the years because a lot of music I hear listen to today, I listen to me a lot more than I listen to other people. And it's mainly not my songs that are completed, it's the beats, because it's just something about just continuous music. So once again, this is your friend, your family, True Streets. Think about that change. And when you make that change, be persistent, consistent, and become the best you that you could become. Hit the comments up, hit the likes up. I prefer you do. I love to read your comments, although I'm still waiting. So make me a believer that people out there understand like I understand. And then, like I always say, y'all keep smiling out there, because remember, Yahweh gave y'all that smile. Don't let nothing on this earth take it away, because they don't deserve what they ain't give you. And remember, like I say, once they get your smile, they take you. But for the ones who don't know me, and for the ones who do, and for the future ones, when I look my head to the right, like that right there, or like this, or like that, something like that. But when I look my head to the right, guess what? You already know what time it is.